Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we cut through the noise and get straight to the essential insights. It's always fascinating how some really critical technologies are often the ones you barely hear about.
Right, the unsung heroes.
Exactly. Humming along behind the scenes, powering huge global industries. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on one of those workhorses, the heating block.
Yes, the heating block. If you've spent any time in a lab, you've definitely seen one.
You probably have, even if you didn't know its name or maybe fully appreciate just how vital it is. So our mission today is to take a real deep dive into Cognitive Market Research's 2025 Heating Block Market Report. We want to distill the numbers, the growth insights.
Get into the CGR details.
Yeah, understand the global and regional trends, and crucially, figure out what these shifts might signal about, broader tech and industrial changes worldwide.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Sounds good. And it's fascinating because this isn't just a simple hot plate, right? For anyone who might not know.
Good point. A heating block is really a precision instrument. It's designed to hold multiple samples, think test tubes, microplates, at really exact, stable temperatures.
And that consistency is key.
Absolutely crucial. You need that reliable temperature control for countless lab processes. Things like DNA amplification for PCR tests,
Diagnostics, yeah.
enzyme reactions in pharma research, even complex chemical stuff in materials science. Its reliability is exactly why it's kind of this quiet enabler of science.
A quiet enabler. I like that. So what does the report say about the market size? How big is this quiet market?
Well, globally, it's pretty significant. Back in 2021, the market was valued at $318.178 million.
Okay.
Looking ahead, it's projected to hit $388.4 million by 2025, and then it keeps expanding to, get this, $578.759 million by 2033.
Wow, that's quite a jump.
It really is. It represents a global compound annual growth rate, the CAGR, of 5.112%.
So steady growth.
Steady, consistent year-over-year increase. It means growing demand from labs, diagnostics, industrial applications all across the globe. What it tells you is the market's basically set to nearly double in size over this period.
Nearly double. That's a clear sign of just burgeoning scientific and industrial activity worldwide, isn't it?
Exactly.
Okay, that's quite an upward path for such a crucial piece of lab gear. Yeah. And growth like that, it's rarely, spread evenly everywhere.
True.
So let's get into the regional specifics. Starting with North America, what's the story there?
Right, North America. It represents a very solid, kind of established base for this market. The region's market grew from $72.863 million in 2021, and it's expected to reach $121.539 million by 2033.
Okay, solid growth.
And within that, the U.S. holds a dominant position, no surprise there, projected to hit $100.55 million by 2033, with a steady CAGR of 4.241%.
Right.
But what's interesting is Canada. It actually shows a notably higher CAGR, 5.238%.
Up higher than the U.S.
Yeah, growing to $11.558 million by 2033. That faster pace kind of hints at maybe some dynamic shifts, perhaps emerging biotech hubs or specific research areas booming in Canada.
Interesting. And Mexico.
Mexico also shows healthy expansion, projected to reach $9.431 million by 2033, and that's with a CAGR of 4.541%. So good, solid performance across the board in North America.
Okay, so a healthy, consistent story there, strong R&D base holding up. How does Europe compare? What stands out over there?
Europe also shows strong, pretty consistent development. Its market revenue is projected to go from $78.908 million in 2021 up to $136.587 million by 2033.
And the CR?
A respectable 4.729%. Germany is the clear leader.
Expected, perhaps.
Yeah, driven by its powerhouse research institution's strong pharma industry.
Yep. It's
growing from about $16.8 million to $31.142 million. That's a strong CGR of 5.378%.
Okay. The UK is another major player, projected to grow to $22.496 million by 2033 with a CGR just over 5%, 5.027%.
So UK and Germany are really driving it. They are, but we also see solid contributions elsewhere. France hitting nearly $16 million, Italy around $12.7 million, Spain close to $10 million by 2033, and Spain's CAGR is actually over 5% too, which suggests, increasing investment there.
What about somewhere like Russia?
Russia shows more modest growth, a CAGR around 2.6%, ending up near $4.3 million. So it contrasts with places like Sweden and Spain, which are growing faster. But overall, Europe shows broad-based demand.
Okay, established markets looking solid, but you mentioned uneven growth, and I know Asia-Pacific is often where the big action is in global markets. I bet it gets really interesting there.
You are absolutely right. Asia-Pacific really is the key growth engine here. It's quite dramatic.
Okay, lay it on us.
Regional revenue is forecasted to surge. It goes from $121.862 million in 2021 all the way up to $237.291 million by 2033.
Wow, and the CGR.
A really robust 5.72%. China leads the charge in pure volume, projected to reach $68.696 million by 2033, with its own strong CGR of 5.928%.
Strong numbers.
But here's the really crucial bit. India. India shows incredibly strong momentum. It boasts the highest CEGR in the entire region.
The highest? What is it?
An impressive 6.704%. It expands from $14.502 million back in 2021 to $31.56 million by 2033, more than doubling.
That is incredible growth for India. What's behind that? Is it one specific thing, or...?
That's a great question. The report points to a few key drivers. It's not just one thing. It reflects a significant government and private investment in its pharma sector.
Makes sense. Vaccines, generics.
Exactly. Plus a rapidly expanding biotech research scene and just a general push to improve healthcare infrastructure.
Yeah.
All these areas are heavy users of precise lab gear, like heating blocks for R&D, quality control, diagnostics.
Got it. So it's a confluence of factors.
Precisely. And we also see big contributions from Japan, projected around $38 million, South Korea over $21 million by 2033, and Singapore.
Another key hub.
Right, boasting a solid CGR of 6.117%. Just shows that concentrated growth in these highly developed research centers, and really vibrant growth across Southeast Asia, too.
That context for India is fascinating. It really shows how this one piece of equipment reflects these huge industrial shifts. Okay, let's swing over to South America. Are we seeing encouraging figures there too?
Yes, South America is definitely on a strong upward path, and it reflects a growing scientific ecosystem down there.
Good to hear.
The market's expected to rise from about $20.3 million in 2021 to $38.325 million by 2033. That's a healthy CAGR of 5.397%.
And who's leading there? Brazil?
Brazil leads, yeah. Projected to grow to $14.533 million. That's likely driven by its big agricultural biotech sector, pharmaceuticals, too. But Argentina shows particularly significant growth, climbing from just under $4 million in 2021 to almost $7.8 million by 2033. That's a very strong CDR of 5.888%.
Wow, nearly 6%. That indicates real investment.
It does. Increased investment in their own research capabilities.
Yeah.
Chile is also set to reach over $3 million. And the rest of the region is broadly showing CGRs above 5.5%.
Yeah.
So widespread and accelerating demand.
Very encouraging for South America's scientific expansion. Okay, next up, the Middle East. Are they also sort of leading the pack regionally?
Indeed. The Middle East heating block market is forecasted for pretty substantial growth, from $13.682 million in 2021 to $25.564 million by 2033.
And the growth rate?
A solid CGR of 5.328%. This growth, it seems closely tied to all the economic diversification efforts in the region.
Right, moving beyond oil and gas.
Exactly, into healthcare, education, advanced research. Saudi Arabia and the UAE are definitely leading. The UAE posts a very strong CGR of 5.895%, reaching over $5 million.
Any thoughts on why the UAE is so strong?
Well, likely linked to their push in medical tourism and building up research initiatives. Turkey also shows solid growth, a CGR of 5.744%, ending around $4 million, probably helped by its expanding industrial base.
Okay.
And the rest of the Middle East, Egypt, Qatar, others, they also show healthy projections. It suggests the region is increasingly investing in its scientific and diagnostic capabilities.
Good overview. Finally, let's bring it to Africa. What's the data telling us about the promise and growth on the continent?
Africa's market for heating blocks is also set to increase. It goes from $10.5 million in 2021 to $19.452 million by 2033.
Okay, and the CAGR there?
It's 4.675%. South Africa remains the strongest market within the region, projected to grow to $8.135 million. That's largely due to its more established research institutions and healthcare setup.
Right, and after South Africa?
Nigeria follows, with about $3.7 million projected. Now, while some parts of the continent show, let's say, relatively moderate CAGRs compared to Asia,
Slower growth, yeah.
the region as a whole definitely shows immense promise. This growth, even if slower in some areas, seems driven by ongoing industrialization efforts, manufacturing, mining, and quite significant improvements in healthcare infrastructure across the continent. It signals a real foundational build-out.
A foundational build-out. That's a good way to put it. Okay, we've toured the world through the lens of heating blocks, so let's pull it all together. What does this all mean for you, our listener? What's the big picture takeaway from this deep dive?
Well, if we connect all these dots, it's clear the global heating block market is poised for really consistent, strong growth. We're talking, as we said, global revenue nearly doubling, from around $318 million in 2021 to almost $580 million by 2033.
That's the headline number.
Right. And while North America and Europe provide these solid, steady bases, driven by established R&D and industry.
The bedrock market.
Exactly. It's the fast-growing markets like India, like Singapore, even Argentina showing that high KLAGR that are really pushing the boundaries and accelerating the overall expansion. These aren't just abstract numbers. They really reflect tangible shifts in global scientific and industrial focus.
So the core insight then, what should people really grasp from this?
The core insight here, I think, is that the steady, widespread demand for such a specific, precise piece of lab gear, this unsung heating block, it actually mirrors these grander narratives. Global scientific advancement, economic development, increasing tech adoption worldwide.
It's the small indicator of big trends.
It's a compelling barometer. A barometer for the global shift towards expanding lab and diagnostic infrastructure, more investment in drug discovery, advanced materials, and just the growing needs of industrial research on almost every continent.
Which brings us to a final thought, something for you to mull over.
Sure.
If this humble heating block can reveal so much about global scientific and industrial expansion, what other unsung behind-the-scenes technologies are quietly powering global progress right now? And what might their growth trajectories reveal about the future we're building together?
That's a great question to leave people with.
Something to think about. Thank you for joining us for another deep dive.